Welcome back to the channel. We have back-to-back massive things occurring right now. We're going to start here. So it says this, and I knew this was going to happen in the United Kingdom. It says Ripple secured a crucial electronic money institution EMI license from the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, allowing regulated crypto services and payments in the UK. They're going to dominate the UK. And what I was just speaking about this. I reference it all the time. What? Their relationship with whom? Their relationship with the Bank of England. Ripple's been working with them for years. Didn't I say that it starts small and then it grows from there? And now we're seeing that. All those connections that they have in the UK is going to bear fruit now. That's what this is about. Ripple is going for global domination. That's what I want for any company that's building on the XRPL. I don't know what you want. I want XRP everywhere. That's going to lend to that price going intergalactic. They're dominating all over the place. I need SBI, Ripple. I don't care who it is. Even the banks that I know for a fact, they're going to utilize the XRPL independently. Even if they're given mechanisms to play with by any of these institutions that are already established on the XRPL, and that's what they build out of, it doesn't make a difference. Everything that touches the XRPL will affect XRP's price. That's all I'm interested in. So I knew this was coming, but look at everything that's happening. It's all coming together. You have the special licensing that they have to just run wild. Singapore. Now they have special licensing in United Kingdom. They also have special licensing in the MENA region. Ooh, you see how it's all coming together? They just did all the activity with those banks in Japan. Do you see the picture becoming a little bit more clear? Let's continue on. Where do we leave off? Allowing regulated crypto services and payments in the UK, signaling major progress in crypto legitimacy and institutional adoption. That's what's important to me. The institutions want XRP. And the second article we're going to get to, I think it goes a little deeper into that, right? It lends a little bit more credence to that idea. But let's keep going here. By the way, if you like this type of content, take those powerful hands. I appreciate all of you hitting that like button lately. Hit that one more time. I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, I bring you some content. You hit that like button. One hand washes the other, right? All right. We're a team a little bit. Like, sort of. Somebody out there's like, Nick, stop. They look just like that. They're like, Nick, stop. They make that face. We're not a team, Nick. Don't get that deep. What if maybe I want to get that deep? Anyway, I'm just messing around. I'm in a good mood. This is great stuff. So it continues. Driving investor optimism despite broader market conditions. What do they mean by that? I always question it. What do you mean? Which investors? Which ones? Retail? Is that who is optimistic? To a degree, sure. But do you also mean all the institutions? There's been a lot of institutional activity when it comes to DLT. And if you look, and if one beholds what they're looking at utilizing DLT for, it's right up XRP's alley. That's who you really want to talk about, but you can't say too much. That's why they always downplay it. They lighten it a little bit. Because you have to understand, a lot of these article writers and these people that bring you information, they want to eventually work with those companies if it's possible. Sponsorships, deals, ads, whatever. Connections. Maybe they leave that position. They go work for who knows? They want connections. So they're going to touch on it real lightly. My humble opinion. You don't have to agree. But that's why they always do that. It's like driving investor optimism. Just say it's the institutions are the ones going wild right now with crypto. It's okay. You can say it. This regulatory win following years of illegal battles, like they don't want to step on people's toes. That makes sense. This regulatory win following years of legal battles and achieving nationwide U.S. money transmitter licenses boosts confidence in Ripple's infrastructure for regulated cross-border payments. Notice how they're focusing your mind on cross-border payments again. Is that what XRP is designed for? Like, that's it? Not interbank payments of all kinds. Even though that's literally what XRP is made for. interbank payments of all kinds. Not just one specific type, but they always focus our minds on that. They attempt to. They don't focus mine. They're not in control of me. All right, now. I just want to point that out. So ripples, and when you understand that, you understand it's trillions and quadrillions on the line. That's important to understand. Trillions to quadrillions. We're in the banking game, folks. That's easy work when you're integrated into the financial system, the legacy financial system, which we're literally absorbing them. They're so weak. They move trillions per day. Some of their institutions we don't even know the names of. Trillions per day. Well, we know, but most people, that's what I mean. Most people don't know. We will also. It's just a matter of when. Not financial advice, just my humble opinion. And if that does occur, then that price is going to skyrocket dramatically. Did you see the video yesterday? I think that was a very impactful video, which I was going to make a members only video, be honest, because that information is so substantial when you're talking about becoming a full service bank, the potentiality of it. And why would you not? You stop at just being a trust bank? No, that's one step on the pyramid. You don't stop there. You want full access. This is about capital value. More than anyone has ever seen in our lifetimes. And I'm thinking as though I'm Ripple or SBI or these banks that are getting involved. They want that. Even if retail doesn't believe, they don't care what retail believes. People have to grasp that. I know retail has all the opinions. Sure, cool. That's nice. They don't care. The institutions are setting things up solidly for it to go in this direction. Opinion aside. And they're not here to play small ball. Let's continue on. It says, following years of legal battles, achieving nationwide U.S. money transmitter licenses boost confidence in Ripple's infrastructure. Did we read that part? So cross-border payments, making XRP more attractive as a bridge asset for institutional use. Why do they limit everything? If you're going to write powerfully. That's how I feel. If you're going to speak powerfully. We don't have time to waste. So why only talk about cross-border payments, not just all-around payments, which is what XRP is going to be utilized for? Period. There's no way around that. You don't limit your most useful tool. You don't do that. XRP's a queen on the board. It can move any direction it pleases. There was something else I was going to say. It just completely left my mind. That's why I had to pause. I paused to think, but sometimes I have so many thoughts, I might lose a thought. Hey, and we move on. We keep it rolling. Making XRP so attractive. So that's why I was going to say it came back. So they focus our minds on cross-border payments, then bridge currency aspect. Sure, yeah, the bridge aspect is going to be key. But why don't you talk about liquidity? See, I find that suspicious. They don't want the people too bullish. They don't. They know the seeds of doubt have taken root in the minds of the people. And so there's still a lot of doubters. Hey, to each his own, it is what it is. But they know that. So they don't mention anything that might, uproot those seeds that have taken root in the minds of the people, those seeds of negativity. So they can't talk about the liquidity because then people might say, liquidity, is there anything going on with liquidity globally? Negatively? And they might look into that. A question is a dangerous thing to authority figures. And when the people look into that, they start to see for themselves with even a little bit of research. Holy smokes. The systems globally are on fire. But wait a minute. As they scratch their chin, perhaps rest their hand on the side of their face, and they say, wait, if the systems are on fire and there's a new system rising and they're having a problem with liquidity everywhere because of false fiat currency, manifested, just made up liquidity, and there's a new system going to take its place, then that new system is going to rise. What runs the new system is liquidity and bridge currency tokens. So those prices could skyrocket. Let me get in on that. Let me get in on that and help myself, help my family, or anyone that I love. Because right now it looks like the world's heading into a harsh circumstance. Emotions aside, that's just factual. Sometimes it's darkest before dawn. There's always, everything has its cycles. Easy during the summer. Short sleeves, shirts, shorts. The summer of the world is easy. Well, then there comes the winter of the world where you got to bundle up a little bit. Crops go away. Animals go away. It's not a little more bleak. Things get tough is what I'm saying. And so we're heading into maybe one of those seasons. There's geopolitical tension everywhere, whether it's manufactured or not. That is the case here. So maybe some people might want to protect themselves, gain a little bit, not financial advice. I'm just playing with these ideas. I'm laying it out so you understand what I'm thinking when I'm looking at this and when I'm conveying things to you. All the big timers protected themselves with gold. Then they jumped off. They didn't jump off of gold. They jumped over to silver. They gobbled up silver. What are they protecting themselves from? They're going heavy when it comes to crypto. Crypto's protective as well, just in a different way. All of that goes together. All of it goes together. What's happening? Why is that? Why is all this occurring now? Can you tell me why? They don't want regular people thinking about that. What they want for them, and I know some of you are preaching to the choir, maybe, but there's a lot of people who do watch who are not you, and I'm not preaching to the choir. They want regular people going to work, exhausted, coming home exhausted, stressed out, and sitting down and just being thankful to exist. That's it. They don't want them super bullish on things and protecting themselves and rising up, because then the world might change. If the world changes, then those who are in charge of the world may have to do something different, because now they may not be in charge. As intelligence rises in people, it's hard to control intelligent people. It's hard to control free people. So you have to keep the intelligence low. You have to keep the people distracted. You have to keep the people feeling lesser. I'm just saying, it's rigged. I'm telling you. But hey, listen, that's just my humble opinion. Let's move on here. You thought that was the only article. I told you I had two back to back things happening. Folks, put it all together. I know you see it. It's really not for you. This is for people that don't see, but I know you're perspicacious, you're erudite, you're smart, you're powerful, right? Take it from me, because I wouldn't lie to you. I'm at the point in my life, I've done everything I need to do. I'm older. I've seen it all. So I'm the perfect one to keep it real with you and tell you the honest truth. You're good. You're great. You're special. You're powerful. And that's it. I don't need anything. I don't need any compliment in return. I don't need anything in return unless you hit that like button, but maybe that. But that's voluntary. So just take it from me. I tell you because throughout my life, it would be nice to hear people say that. Like, you're the best. You're good. I'm going to do for others what I would want people to do for me. I want to be the change that I wish I saw in the world. So I'm going to do that before I have to take that dirt nap. That's how I think. All right now. All right. So let me do the good because I'm being humble. I'm going to do it anyway. Now, this article, let's get back to the topic. You got off topic. That wasn't me. That was you. I'm putting it on you. Hit that like button, by the way, you like this type of content. Somebody's like, Mick, I didn't like that. I'm not hitting the like button. Hit it anyway. Hit it anyway. Why not? Now, this article is titled More Treasuries. What? What'd you say, article writer? No. Don't be low now. Say it again. More Treasuries exploring XRP. They're exploring what? Was I not, article writer, was I not just speaking about this? I told the people there would be more. No. Don't get quiet now, article writer. Yes, I was. I told you. It starts small. It grows big. No one is leaving that free money, free, easy money, maybe for whenever the real run up begins. And I know we've seen some great times. We've seen some terrible times as well, but we've seen some great times. No one in any of these institutions, I'm not talking about retail, is leaving that money on the table. Not going to happen. Let me zip my little. This jacket is actually very warm. No one, they're not. So even though they're doing this quietly, yet they're still acting. They're doing. And it's just a logical conclusion that a few begin here with the treasuries. XRP is on the list of the World Economic Forum. You think that's for no reason? Those people try to alter the world. They raise and groom, maybe I shouldn't use the word groom, but they train. They train people that become presidents, the World Economic Forum. They put out world agendas that the companies, and look at who's the members of that. And so when they say, hey, we like this, we think this is going to dominate, whether you like the villain or not, whether you believe they're a villain or not, one must acknowledge that they do have influence and power. So things may go that way. That's one. They say that years ago. XRP was on that list. XLM was on that list. I think Algorand, XDC, maybe Solana. And I believe Solana, if I'm remembering correctly, check everything that I'm saying. I believe Solana and XDC were latecomers to that, to the World Economic Forum's chosen ones. That's why I call them. That's what they are. Only for years after that, the United States to come out. And then they say, hey, listen, guys, listen, everyone. These are the cryptos we're going to have in a reserve and digital asset stockpile. Hence, they're chosen ones. Who was on that list? XRP was for sure on that list. You see where all this is going? You see? So when they're doing treasuries, it doesn't matter. What matters most is what is. Although people for years, even though I said I went against the grain, I told you I told you companies will hold XRP. Doesn't matter. What does holding mean? You have to define that for yourself. If I hold it for 2 minutes or 2 years or 2 months, and I'm a large entity, does it matter? I'm still holding it. Like, it does matter. No, the value I'm going to send across it, the value that is accumulated while I and thousands of other large institutions are holding it at some point in the future, whether for 2 minutes, 2 months, 2 years, or 2 decades, is going to impact that price. That makes sense? I don't know if I conveyed that in the smoothest way, but I think you get my point. And they want to reap the most benefits from that activity, period. It says here, there are indications that more treasuries are exploring XRP as indications. Why are you saying it like that? You know what you've heard. All right. You know who's being spoken about when it comes to that. You know who told you that. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it there. There are indications that more treasuries are exploring XRP as a practical, institution-friendly digital asset. They're going to change the game. They're going to flip the table. So right now, the table is set where people feel like well, stable coins, because the whole name's stable, even though they're not stable. So that's could I say a misnomer? That's not a proper nomenclature for those particular things. Albeit for a time they're stable, but whatever. But people put that in the stable category as assets, but not regular crypto, when regular crypto like XRP could be gobbled up, purchased in mass is what I mean when I say gobbled up by institutions, and thus bring that volatility to a complete halt as long as they control the majority of it. The same thing that they've been doing and exposing themselves on, and it has been discussed in mainstream media, with Bitcoin. They're doing the same thing. Bitcoin has much less volatility than it used to have. Why? Because of institutions. So there's your proof already. They will stabilize that if they so choose to do such. And why would they not choose to do such? The only time that there will be volatility, if indeed they walk that pathway and just buy up as much XRP, the majority of XRP that they can, the only time there will be volatility is when they allow there to be volatility. But let's keep going. So they can make it a more stable asset. How do they phrase it here? An institution-friendly digital asset, because I know what that means, but it's already institutional friendly. It's made for institutions. Institutional use, trillions of dollars to go across for banks. All these mechanisms, they're not for retail, they're for banks. All right, let's go. I'll go here. I'm a little excited, but not always this way. Let me do what I do for now. Maybe tomorrow you get a more calm video, okay? We're different every day. That's what makes life interesting, makes life good. Some people, I don't get that. They want someone to be the same every single day. That's unbelievable. Is the tree the same every day? The leaf? Is the river the same every day? There is nothing that's the same every day. Why do some humans carry this mentality, this monolithic mentality? I don't know. I just know I'm not a part of that. Ripple's managing director for Middle East and Africa, Reese Merrick, dropped the hint in a recent post on X. Talk to them, Reese. And when you, Mr. Merrick, when you speak, this is how I want you to speak. Don't make any other post. Oh, I'm feeling good today, man. I'm like 90% better. You got to understand, when I'm still going to operate in life, even if I'm like, I'm a little bit sick or something like that. I can just work remotely, whatever. But I'm still going to live and operate, But when I feel better, I'm like, yeah, I feel like celebrating, That's the mood I'm in now. So anyway, let's continue on. Hey, stop. Focus. We're here for crypto, not your personals. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with them? I'm putting it on you. All right. You're cool. All right. According to Merrick, he claimed the interest stems from the commitment of the firm to deliver on its promise to users. Yes, I knew it. That's why it's important to keep your word. People don't get that. And when you see me say that with that passion, that's coming from decades of seeing people ruin business in anything. You see those white streaks? I've been around for a long time. They don't keep their word. They don't deliver on the quality. And then the business is ruined. And this is why I always gave Ripple their respect. They said something, they did it multiple times. So that brings trust. And that trust brings in more business. And that's great for XRP holders. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. All right, let's continue on. So this is coming from Reese Merrick. Straight from the horse's mouth. There will be more XRP treasuries. Hint. There's no reason to hint if it wasn't going to happen. He's telling. I don't know. I don't even remember where. I think I got that from. There was something. What was the guy? The comedian Jim Carrey. He said something in a movie in that inflection. He didn't say they're telling, but it's just I took that inflection. I like a lot of what Jim Carrey does, so I just put that they're telling on top of that inflection, right? But I can't remember what it was that he said. A very, very funny comedic actor. If you're not familiar with Jim Carrey, some of you are like, who's not familiar with Jim Carrey? You would be surprised. I'm not saying this just off the top of my head. You would be surprised. If you want to watch some good Jim Carrey movies before we finish this article here, I recommend The Mask. Classic. Please don't remake The Mask. Please don't. Don't come out with a new Mask. There's no one to replace Jim Carrey. Generational, once-in-a-lifetime talent. But I recommend The Mask. I'm going to give you one that people don't know about a lot. Don't talk about a lot. Cable Guy. Oh, that's a good one. It's The Weeknd. Mask and Cable Guy. Start there. If you like Jim Carrey. Not advice. According to Merrick, XRP is a bridge asset for different real-world financial systems. That is, XRP serves as a functional substitute to carry out fast and cheap value transfers. In the broader financial space, XRP is already being used in stablecoin settlement. Ooh, wait. Sir, you woke up feeling good this morning. All right, tell them. Talk. I am very pleased with this with this activity. Tell them, Reese. Oh, man, he's going off. He's telling. In the broader financial space, XRP is already being used in stablecoins. So, of course, it rides the rails, provides the liquidity. All right, we know. All right, wait until that goes to the higher level. Then people will really see. But we're building for now. We're just still in the nascent phase of crypto overall, not XRP. Some people are like, XRP still in nascent phase? No, all of crypto is. All of it. There's a new level, a next level, few levels for XRP, a next few levels, higher levels for Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Chainlink. People haven't seen anything yet. Nothing. You don't have to agree. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not. I just speak powerfully what I believe from what I've observed, what I've researched. That's all. That's all. All right. It's just like if you say what you say, I respect those people. I don't go against them. You believe what you believe. All right. It says it allows millions of users to move funds efficiently in the global financial world. He highlighted other service delivery to include real world assets, trillions. They're telling the people that they're not taking that serious. They should, but hey, it says real world assets, trillions, maybe even quadrillions. We go far enough. We'll see. The story will tell itself if you but look at the puzzle. Look at the puzzle, examine the puzzle, and you will start to see the picture appear if one is perspicacious enough. And institutional payments. Say that again, sir. Institutional payments. Somebody out there is like, Mick, what kind of remix? What? Remix? What? That was terrible, Mick. Whatever. Well, this is what we used to say. Remember in the 90s, someone says something, the people disagree and they say, whatever. I'm bringing it back. Whatever. Oh, man. And institutional payments that allow for cross-border transfers and treasury operations. This makes XRP stand out from other tokens that exist solely for trading. That's right. Talk to them, sir. Yeah, I like this. Too bad, though. It's like you're not going to get information like this, tweets like this from this type of individual that often, unfortunately. But hey, I can enjoy the good moment while it's here, to be quite honest. All right, let's get to a little bit of Bitcoin news. I was having such a good time, you know. I have to enjoy the good information when it comes out, because we can go through long droughts where there's good information. We have to do the research to find it, but at the same time, it just might not be as fun. This is fun information. All right, folks, get to a little bit of Bitcoin news. I'll tell you what, just a random thought off my mind before we dip into this Bitcoin news. Just briefly, let me just talk a little briefly. I get something out of this. Like, I feel good sharing. Why not? We don't have forever on Earth. Things that were just so epic in the 90s, you can't explain it. 80s and the 90s that were so epic. You just can't explain it to people fully, convey that feeling. You had to be there to experience it. Number one, in the 80s, I want everyone to have that poofy hair. Remember that? Everybody had this like poofy, this Tina Turner type hair, afro, all type. I want all that poofy. I like all that stuff. Yeah, I like that a lot. The colors, the jean jackets, the rip jackets, like just the rebelliousness. Maybe that was our thing, like 80s, 90s. It was like this rebellious time period, you know. People wore their fitted caps all types of ways, sideways here, backwards on the side. Oh, it was a time of like exploration of self. That makes sense. The colors were so vibrant. The car, you could have a yellow car, green car. Now I'm driving down the street. I saw just a bunch of silver car, dark silver, black cars, white cars. Where's the color? The brilliance of life. It was like art back then. The world was so bright. The restaurants were all bright. Everything was bright. There were so many different types of music that you could access that mainstream was playing. It like pop, punk rock. Everything was awesome. I'm very serious. Pop was awesome. Punk rock was awesome. Rap was awesome. Hip hop was awesome. Metal was awesome. Everything was awesome. Dang. No, and that's not me just looking back. Oh, your what do they call it? That's you have a love for it in retrospect. No, I remember. That's what I experienced. Everything, the newspapers, they had these great advertisements. It made you actually want a product. It didn't feel like you were being forced to buy some terrible product. No, it was like they were awesome. Like, oh, that might be good. And stuff was functional. Some stuff maybe not, but still, it was awesome. The presentation, everyone put so much effort into things back then. You know, it just seemed that way. All right, let's get back to the Bitcoin art. I know, get back to the crypto. I know, oh man, but I like to share. Why not? You're who I share with. That doesn't mean something to you. Do you think I'm just sharing with people out in the world? I'm just open booking? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So I'm sharing with you. That's special. Whether you like it or not, thinking you don't know, whether you know it or not, that's special. I'm sharing with you. I'm not sharing with everybody out. They don't know me. All right. You let me calm down. I'm very calm. Bitcoin price to soar to $2.9 million by 2050. With rise in global trade use, we will see. I'm not saying it's going to go there. This is their opinion. Van Eck, 2050. That's a long time away. That's a long time away. But what they're trying to convey here, the essence of what I'm taking from it is they're super bullish on Bitcoin. So Van Eck predicts Bitcoin price to surge to $2.9 million by 2050, supported by global trade settlement and central bank reserves. Bitcoin is expected to reach $2.9 million by 2050, according to a forecast by asset management firm Van Eck. The prediction hinges on the cryptocurrency's growing role in global trade and its inclusion in central bank reserves. Analysts at Van Eck suggest that Bitcoin could account for 5 to 10% of global international trade and 5% of domestic trade by 2050. Then it continues on. Van Eck analysts estimate that Bitcoin will achieve 15% compound annual growth, CAGR, over the next few decades. They believe Bitcoin's price will be driven by global liquidity expansion and ongoing monetary debasement. Quote, Bitcoin is not a tactical trade. It functions as a long-duration hedge against adverse monetary regime outcomes, unquote, said Matthew Siegel, or Siegel. Is it Sigil or Siegel? I'll say Siegel. Head of digital assets research at Van Eck. Siegel and Patrick Bush, a senior investment analyst at Van Eck, projected that central banks may hold up to 2.5% of their assets in Bitcoin by 2050. They're giving you solid reasons. Like I said, I'm not saying to believe this, not financial advice. I'm just pointing out they're giving you solid reasonings based on their research. They have very good researchers at Van Eck. I just know that. Doesn't mean this is a guarantee, but it's interesting. That means that they're very bullish and there may be massive explosions in Bitcoin, maybe even beyond what I'm predicting. I'm predicting at least maybe 2 to 3 massive explosions in the top cryptos. Then after that, I think people are going to see extreme stability. The institutions just take over completely. But 2 to 3, maybe this would indicate that there's explosions beyond what I'm predicting. But that's up to you to decide if you believe that or not. All right, folks, I wish I could talk to you a little bit longer. I really, really do. But I don't want to keep you here too long. I know you got things to do. I hope you enjoyed the video. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.